we're gonna work on what, chef?
We're gonna work on our pesto next.
Pesto.
Okay, so for our pesto, we're gonna use our Robocoup. Okay, traditional pesto. Basil, pine nuts, garlic, and olive oil. Okay, that's traditional pesto. Just those 4 ingredients.
Pine nuts is traditional, or is it
Pine nuts
walnuts?
is traditional.
Basil, pine nuts, olive oil.
Basil, pine nuts, olive oil, and garlic. Yep. Okay, so that's a traditional pesto. Walnuts is a variation.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got 2 types of cheese here, is that right?
We just have the Parmesan, chef, and we just did up a little bit more Parmesan because we didn't have the Romano. I don't know if you wanted to add more cheese to it or not.
Sounds good. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the whole garlic cloves in here, and we're going to let the machine do the work for us. Now, when we use our Robocoup's got a flat spot in the stem. So we put the blade in, the blade has to go all the way down. So make sure we put it on here. We have that positioned correctly so we don't hurt the machine. We just got 2 new Robocoups in. They're extremely expensive. We need to make sure we take care of them really well. Okay, you need to make sure that this is facing toward you at 6 o'clock. When we put the lid on, we've got a part of the lid that's large. It's going to go right toward the 6 o'clock. It's going to snap into place. That's the safety button right there. We turn it on, and if we even though don't turn it off, that's going to shut it off. But we want to turn it off in front. But that's the safety feature it has on it. Okay, so garlic. Okay, a little bit of olive oil. We're going to get that garlic minced up real quickly. Okay, the other day we talked about the Robocoup. The Robocoup used to have a really big opening in it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice because you could put things in the top, but now you can't get your fingers in. I guess that's the whole idea of it. Okay, our basil. What did we do with our basil, Georgia?
Sorry, chef.
What did we do with our basil? How do we prep our basil? We took it off the stem? Okay, we took it off the stem and then we washed it. Okay, so we want to make sure we wash it. Basil can a lot of times be very dirty, especially if you grow it at home. Okay, we're going to put all these ingredients in here. We're just going to process it up. Okay, after a few seconds, scrape down the sides. Now, for your pesto. How processed do you want it? How chunky do you want it? You know, that's up to you.
So that's the exact same like process for sure.
Yeah, this is a commercial brand.
So it's just a brand.
Really
Yeah.
good, yeah, it's commercial, and it has to, on the front it has to say MSF on it. Okay, it has to be approved for food service. You cannot use a Cuisinart in a restaurant. They're not approved for food service because if you look at a Cuisinart, along the sides here they've got slats where the engine, there are little motor cools itself, and in their opinion you can't clean it well enough. So that's why you cannot use it for food service. Professional food service, I should say. Okay, so that's the pesto. Pretty easy to make. The machine does all the work for you pretty much. Think of the basil, right? Okay.
Remember one of the things that are like highly sensitive to allergies?
Nuts, you know. It's a tree nut, so yes. Like I said, it depends on, some people are allergic to only certain type of nuts. Some people are only allergic to peanuts. So you could substitute another nut if there wasn't an allergy issue there. Give it flavor, gives it a little bit of texture too. Okay, so we're going to cover that. We're going to pop it in the cooler, please. Thank you.